Hello everybody. When most people think of the Great Pyramid of Giza, they picture a monument to ancient Egypt's grandeur, to a tomb of a pharaoh, to an astronomical marvel, and perhaps maybe even sometimes a mystery to solve. Who built it, when and why? But for Edgar Cayce, often called the sleeping prophet, the Great Pyramid was something more and much more. It was a cosmic time capsule, a prophetic monument, and even a link to the lost civilization of Atlantis. Born in 1877, Edgar Cayce was an American mystic, a seer, who gave over 14,000 readings, or what he called readings, while under a hypnotic state. These readings covered everything, from health remedies to holistic cures to past lives to future events and ancient civilizations. One of his most fascinating topics was Egypt, and specifically the Great Pyramid that you see behind me. Cayce claimed that the Great Pyramid wasn't built by Egyptians around 2500 BC, as mainstream archaeology asserts. Instead, he said that it was constructed much earlier, much earlier, in the year 10,390 BC by a group of advanced beings from Atlantis who fled their sinking continent and migrated here to Egypt. According to Cayce, the pyramid was built under the guidance of Rata, a high priest and a spiritual teacher, who actually was one of the incarnations of Cayce himself. It was actually one of his own past lives. Now, the construction was done through levitation, spiritual technology, understanding sacred geometry. It was not a tomb, but a temple of initiation, aligning with celestial bodies and encoding spiritual knowledge in it about human evolution and the advancement of humanity in our consciousness. Cayce described the Great Pyramid as a chronological prophecy, a record of humanity's spiritual journey. He said the pyramid's inner passageways symbolized major events in human history. For example, the descending passage represented humanity's fall from a spiritual into material, into materialism, into separation from divine consciousness. He said that the ascending passage symbolized a pathway back, or a spiritual awakening, or a resurgence, a resurrection into knowing ourselves. And he also said that there was parts of it in the building that marked turning points and transformations in times, including the birth of Christ. Some interpret the measurements to point to future shifts in consciousness, including Cayce's prediction of a new age of enlightenment that was going to begin in the 21st century. Now, perhaps the most tantalizing Cayce prophecy is about what is called the Hall of Records, a hidden chamber actually beneath the Sphinx's paw that holds the records of Atlantis, including its history, its technology, and even its spiritual wisdom and spiritual teachings. According to Cayce, there will come a time when the secrets of the pyramids will be revealed and the records will be uncovered. To this day, many researchers and even explorers do continue to search, looking for this chamber, intrigued by both Cayce's readings and modern anomalies that they're actually finding under the Sphinx itself and under the Giza Plateau using ground-penetrating radar. But why it matters today? Well, it matters today because whether you see the Cayce readings as literal truth, metaphorical wisdom, a blend of both, his view of the Great Pyramid really challenges us to reconsider ancient history, not just as a timeline, of great kings or a timeline of history, but as a spiritual journey that's actually encoded in stone, our own journey back to the reawakening of our spiritual selves again. In Cayce's cosmology, the pyramid isn't just an artifact of the past, it's a blueprint for our future, for humanity's future. It's a reminder that we are more than just flesh and blood. We are spiritual beings in the process of remembering who and what we truly are. As one of the great masters, Yoda, once said, "Crude matter we are not, illuminated beings are we." And what if the secrets of the Great Pyramid aren't buried in the past, but are just waiting for us to be ready to understand them? As Cayce said, know that all strength, all healing of every nature is the changing of our vibrations from within. And so really in all of his teachings, we're meant to reawaken ourselves by raising our vibration, to spiritualizing the body. And perhaps the Great Pyramid is less about stones and more about the inner architecture of our own soul. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed and beautiful day.